Hi, I'm Alex, and the dancing guy is Rob, and we're the Couch on Fire podcast, where we
And I'm a
ask
fun
ourselves,
guy.
if we're fun guys.
Oh man, so
Endgame.
it is it is
Warning will contain spoilers. If you
it
haven't
is the
seen it yet, fuck off.
it is the end of April 2019, which means Avengers have come out with another movie. And it's sad. This isn't the last movie of this saga, by the
Nope.
way. I found that out the hard way. The next Spider-Man movie is technically the last of this
Of
Infinity
phase
Gauntlet
3.
yes, of the last little thing. But anyway, um Endgame. Oh, okay. Where to begin?
Uh, okay, so I'm gonna say it again. Spoilers. If you haven't pissed off yet, shove off, mate. If you're here for the spoilers, welcome to the party. Uh, three,
Everyone
two,
dies.
and comes back. What the hell? Everybody came back. We knew that was gonna happen. We anticipated some quantum realm, time-based hijinks. Okay. So chronologically speaking, the first fuck up of the film, uh, Tony, Steve, and Scott fucked up the Tesseract, and Loki got away.
Yes.
Uh, Loki is back. Therefore, like, Loki is undead. He's
Yes.
not dead.
Well, they had to throw that in there. I think he has a TV show coming out on Disney
It
Plus.
could have been a prequel.
Could have been. Could have been.
Could have been
That-
contemporaneous, leading up to like the hijinks on the ship.
Well, it could have been. You're right. It could have been. Or the thing he was doing between. I don't know. There's a lot of things that he was doing. Anyway, real quick before we start talking about a
Uh-oh.
lot of things about the Avengers Endgame,
Uh-oh.
I put a poll up, and I want your opinion. Greatest movie of all time? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, I agree. It's not the greatest movie of all time. It has.
Is it up there? It's a
I
contender.
would.
It's pop culture trash. Like we it's not cinema, it's not philosophical, it's not art. But god damn it, it's one of the best goddamn movies of all time. It's top 20. Hard.
I would.
Hard
I
top
would
20.
say this. The movie had Fortnite in it for one. So let's stop for a second. A lot of people don't. A lot of people look past that. And Fortnite. I'm not saying it's not a bad game. I've played the game. It's a good game, but
Do you
it's
feel good
definitely
about that?
it's just too much of a of a pop culture thing, like you were saying,
Mhm.
and they threw it in this movie, which was weird. I think that it was the best season finale I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's
And
fair.
I think I told you that on the phone. It's
Yeah.
definitely the best finale I've ever seen, um, because it was good. Obviously, it was just it was a good closure. Like if I was reading the last chapter of a book and this was it, I'd be happy. I would
Yeah.
be happy.
Um I have a couple points of criticism now that I've had some time processing the fact that Steve picked up the fucking hammer. Um but I don't care either. Like, it doesn't matter. It's not
What?
meant to like super analyze the shit. If it's kind of chronological, we're good. We're good. It
It,
doesn't have to be a thinking film.
I told you when I called you. So I called Alex as soon as I saw them after I saw it.
Yeah.
And I think the best thing in this film, in the comic books, there's a line that I've been waiting for them to say for the longest time. I thought they said it in the first one, but they didn't.
Yeah, they
Um,
did. Steve
they
said it in the
did.
first one. Yeah.
Okay, but this one was better because it literally had all everyone that has been in every fucking movie that's still alive, shows up at the last battle scene, and Captain America just sits there and he's all beat up and he just looks at Thanos and he says, "Avengers assemble," and it was just like it made me feel so good. It just you know, I didn't I didn't. So going into the film, I have to let you know, I knew almost everything that was going on. I was spoiled all out. I kind of knew everything.
I went
was going
into
on.
this one blind.
See, I went in not blind, but I didn't know about that scene. So that scene made me feel good. Now everything else, I still got choked up, even though I knew about Tony Stark. But now with that said, it makes me believe that if I would have won in blind, would I felt that way about more scenes? Because that one scene I didn't know about, but the other scenes I did know. But
I don't know. I can definitely imagine it having had an impact because this is the first film I went in like blind on. I had read a bunch of the theories and stuff, but that's conjecture. It's not the same.
Yeah.
99% of other films I go see, I'll check out the spoiler review first because I'm that person that reads the last page of a book and then starts. That's just who I am. It's about the journey for me. Oh, excuse me.
Well, I will say. So I wasn't when. So I already knew about Black Widow's death.
Okay.
But when Hawkeye and Black Widow went to Mjolnir, even if I didn't know about the death, I knew one of them was going to die because how you're going to get the Soul Stone? We all know this. One of them's going to die. So when I found out that they went, I knew, like, no matter what, you already knew in the back of your head. So to me, it was sad, but it wasn't too sad because you're just like, both those characters. Black Widow obviously is more of a fan favorite than Hawkeye, but both those characters don't mean too much to me. The Tony Stark thing was sad because his daughter, for me, really got it. They definitely made me personalize more with him when they showed his daughter earlier in the film.
I love you 3000.
That whole thing just really got to me. The Peter Parker thing was kind of sad because it was like is exactly what he did, almost basically, just in reverse.
Yeah.
And
they culminated a small micro thread with that action, and it dates back to Guardians 1, right when they realize that Star-Lord isn't just human, that there's something else going on, because no human should have the power to wield an Infinity Stone. It's too much and it'll kill them. Tony wielded all of them and had some time before shutdown. It wasn't just like he exploded and that's it. Which is kind of suggested like he shouldn't have been able to pick that up at all. Like it burned off his arm or something with the Star-Lord thing. Like that was the implication, and he manages to get a whole snap off. That speaks to the size of Tony's will through this process and like what he's become. Like he's become more than just human at that point, but he hasn't quite like hit that next stage to where he could have just done it and been okay.
Well, I like the way they filmed it. I did. The Tony Stark thing. I like the way they handled him in the whole thing. A lot of people, when I watch reviews, people on YouTube, a lot of people don't bring this one part up, and I think it's an important part. Tony Stark, when he sees his father, he goes back to like what was it, 70s?
50s.
Yeah, because that's when you see Stan Lee's last cameo. So when he sees Howard Stark, that whole thing there was like, that was kind of emotional because you felt it. You felt the emotion. Like he never really got to say this to his father, and his father's kind of saying it to him now. That he never really got to say this to his son. That he was always going to be the best that he could possibly be to his son, and all this stuff. Like, because you've seen flashbacks in Civil War and flashbacks elsewhere of Tony Stark like being a troubled teenager and Howard Stark just yelling at him and things like that. So I like that scene. That was a good scene. And then obviously it set up Captain America with Peggy. That scene too. I mean, that was kind of emotional.
But that's when I started to crack. I was like, Steve, just grab her and go. Grab her, and then hit the button. Head home. Grab her and go.
I think the It was definitely slower in the middle because I don't know, it just had
There
to
was some
it had
fetch
to explain.
questing that needed to happen.
Yeah, it had to explain quantum physics. It had to explain how they got everyone together.
They explained
Chris
it in
Hem
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
So Thor being fat, I wasn't a big fan. Thor with the beard, the Viking beard, and the hair, I was obviously a fan of. But I will say, Chris Hemsworth is a funny fucking dude.
So,
or
drinking Thor with his beer belly and
oh yeah,
Mike
his
and
buddies.
Cook. Yeah. Oh, hey, it's Noob Slayer 69 again. You wanna handle this one? Yeah, thank you.
I am Thor, the god of thunder. I will come down there in the kid's basement. Like
Yeah.
it's just, like to all the gamers out there in the world, you know exactly how you feel, and that's probably how you felt at that moment. So that was
Okay, so
that
we've
was,
all been there and we're all ashamed of it. And that
Yeah.
was showcased as like this ultimate loser moment. Like,
yes.
you've fallen from grace, dog. You're a king now. And you're
I love
talking
that.
shit to this 12-year-old online.
I love
Wow,
how
you were
Asgard,
upset.
I love how Asgard is now an Irish port city.
Swedish,
If you look at
wasn't it?
Swedish. Well, yeah.
But yeah, Nordic area territory. And yeah, 100%. It's so much better than the comics Blue Zone of the Moon bullshit, which is just
Yeah.
fucking nonsense. Oh, there's a part of the moon where there's oxygen all of a sudden. Fuck you. Fuck you, comic books. Don't play that shit
I
with
wonder.
me.
I wonder, like, well, they probably won't if they do another Thor movie. I don't know if they'll ever bring up Asgard again, but unless they bring, I don't know. I wonder if they'll do like what they do with Black Panther and Wakanda. They have like a shield around it where no one can really get in, or they
Ah.
or they just leave it to the world and just say, "Fuck it, we're taxpayers now."
Yeah, no, it's we're gonna have a bunch of half Saiyans running around turning blonde, and we don't know why. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna interbreed, and humans and Asgardians are gonna.
Be the future.
That'll have an impact on our biology.
Well, there was some giants walking around too when Hulk first got off the truck. I noticed a couple, Asgardian giants and things like that. So
I totally did not see any Jotun.
oh,
That's
well,
wild.
man. Yeah, there was a. If you go see it again, when the Hulk gets out of the truck and the truck's like lifted up because he's so fat. If you look across the pier, there's literally two giants walking next to each other.
Is it
carrying
Nice
fish.
Giant or Fire Giant?
No, it was just like a typical. It kind of looked like the giant, like his friend that was playing video games with. What's his name?
Mike. He's
Hot.
made of rock.
Yeah, he's made of rock. So it looked like someone else that.
Huh.
Yeah, you need to check that out. So that's why I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna do that. But going back to what I was saying, Chris Hemsworth is a funny guy. He was very funny. I love the one-liners that Tony Stark has literally had since 2008 all the way up. Like he calls them the Big Lebowski.
Yeah. That was well deserved too.
Yeah.
It's,
when he
it's really funny. The directors were actually responsible for the Big Lebowski, so it was a double funny like self nod.
Well, it's
Little meta humor.
He's always made fun of Thor. I just rewatched the original Avengers, and when he first sees him, he's like, "Sit down, Point Break." So he calls him Patrick Swayze from Point Break.
Like all kinds of funny gags have occurred at Thor's expense.
Did you see Anthony Russo as the gay guy and the very big and when they were doing the
I did recognize him,
and I
thought that was him.
Yeah, well, no, a lot of people didn't cheer in my movie theater. So my movie theater there was a couple women, older women, but it was a lot of 35 to 45-year-old men by themselves. Like I sat next to someone by myself. If I go to the movies by myself, I always try to get the handicap seat. Just so I don't have to sit the handicap seat, just so I don't have to sit next to anybody. Now I feel like
do you get up if there's an actual handicap person that comes?
Well, for one, I choose my seat online. So if they fucking try to pull that shit like, oh, I'm handicapped, you should have bought it online, bruh. Should have bought it
Oh,
online.
Rob, Rob, no.
Listen, I waited days to see this. I didn't see it opening week, not because I didn't want to. It's because let all the handicapped people see it then. Now I can see. That's fucked up. This is Listen. I apologize if this is going anywhere. If you think this is going against anybody with a disability, that is not true whatsoever. All I'm saying is
Is
that you can
motherfuck
pick,
those people.
you can pick your own seat at the movie theater, and there's like 4 or 5 handicap spots. So I just picked the one where it was the two seaters, the one and then the one thing. Now there's other
Yeah.
handicap spots. I mean, so don't worry, there was no handicap people there. But anyway, but during that scene, no one really clapped or said anything. So I don't think a lot of people actually recognized him. I mean, these are older folks. I don't know. True comic book fans that actually watch videos will probably see that. Um, the
That's a
biggest,
hell
I
of a
mean,
no true Scotsman.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
true fans they're seeing it, right? That makes them a fan,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
they're legitimate in that.
Yeah.
Why shame
Oh.
them for only liking the
Well,
cinematic
Who
universe?
who clapped in so what happened in your movie theater? When did people clap? Because there was only 2 times in my theater when people clapped.
We were screaming 90% of the third act.
Okay.
Uh,
Well,
right as we started to
everybody
see
was-
the sling rings open up, everybody was.
well, see that's what when Black Panther came out, everyone
Yeah.
started clapping, and then after that, they just clapped, and then they started seeing everybody else come out. It was great. I was waiting for them. Where the fuck are they? They all got sent. Where are they?
Yeah. Were you expecting them to just teleport there or something? Well, there were 5 other sanctums spread out around throughout the world that was specifically referenced. We talked about New York, Hong Kong, and London, but there were like 2 more, weren't there? Yeah, you were thinking of Hong Kong. But yeah, like there was one down in Buenos Aires or something. Yeah. The best of us. No, I argue that it was in full stride then, but like it hadn't become the pan cultural phenomenon then, at that point. And a lot of the normies, as it were, are gonna be like, "Whoa, Doctor Strange? What? This is strange. Fuck that." I think there's going to be a resurge in the later section of its box office run because everybody's going to be like, we're going to expect that end credits scene in Far From Home. We're going to get it, and it's going to start like laying just a nod of some of the groundwork for Phase 4, and we're going to start talking about it, and then people are going to be like, okay, I got to go see this. Okay, this one's required reading. Shit. And then go see it. Yeah, no, Star Wars is the next one. At the end of the year. am not going to pay any goddamn attention to those. I did not care for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I did not care for any of the mutant ones. Yeah. Because James Gunn's got to do Suicide Squad first. X-Men is going to be a funny one. Because I think the next big bad, and I'm saying this purely out of desperation and hope, is Doom. And we require the Fantastic Four to have Doom. Wolverine, in particular, is a strong character for a Doom arc because their interactions are always interesting. We've already got a Scarlet Witch at play, and we had a Quicksilver. Those were Magneto's kids. We retconned their backstory to cover them showing up without having Magneto, but also we could still have Magneto and re-retcon. Not like she's a witch. It was Gandalf. Yeah. Well, they were the first, like, blockbuster comic book movies. Blade had kind of kicked open the door, but that was, like, grungy, edgy, and, like, off the beaten path even for Marvel to tap a Blade for that. So and they were trying to appeal to the alternative audience and shit anyway. Wesley Snipes is in talks, man. It's actually looking strangely, surprisingly positive to see Wesley Snipes reprise his role. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, Blade 2 is pretty good. I'll grant Blade 2 some wiggle room, but I'm not going to talk about the third or dignify that nonsense. Um, if we get Blade to come back, we must have Morbius the Living Vampire go fuck with Pete. Because he's a Pete villain, not a Blade villain. Are they? Oh, is that Leto? That is Leto, isn't it? So we're already starting to see the broader net get cast with a Sony property getting brought in, because that was Sony, right? Get brought in and pulled in to the greater MCU. I think we're gonna get a Doom as our big bad come Phase 4. Ad infinitum. Mm-hmm. Well, there's going to come a time when the rights license will expire, and Marvel simply won't re-up with them. They'll be like, "Thank you for Spider-Man and Hulk back. They're ours again. Bye," and just walk away. But that requires Sony actually using the properties on their own, and that's not looking good. I think Sony has realized it has a new master with Disney, and they're gonna milk that monster's teat for as long as they can. 10 out of 10. Loved it. Loved Professor Hulk. I hate it. I hate it. That's why I didn't like the Thor arc. There was so much backslide because of it. Rock bottom. I want to see the climb. He did. Can I say this is the one time I've ever found it acceptable for the hive mind action in media? Yeah, oh, you kill the big bad, the whole thing stops, and the affair is over. This is the only time that's correct, and it's because it's magic. The guy who cast the spell is dead. The spell is now over. The dead are no longer walking around. End. It's perfect. It's the only time it's ever been valid, and it used it so well. I can't wait for Sunday. Yeah, I can't wait for Sunday, man. Yeah, yeah. We get to see Cersei finally get hers. Yeah. We gotta kill Cersei first before we can deal with Jon versus Dany. I think that it's gonna come up in the middle of dealing with Cersei. Knowing those writers, it's like they let Jaime and Brienne both live out in the courtyard. How many waves? How many breaks did they get between waves of literal fucking zombies that run charging them out in the courtyard. That's bullshit. Bullshit. And oh, the plot armor is real. Yeah, they subverted us again. Instead of killing everyone this time, it was not killing anybody. Subversion. Press F to pay respects to Lyanna Mormont, the little giant slayer. Oh man. I was like, come on, you're right. You're up in his face, just do it. She's like, yeah! And I was like, okay, now she can die. Yeah. That was wild, man. Yeah, I think that's a good episode. Bye, everybody. See you next week. We love you long time.